Imagine being born a slave, your body owned by another, your fate decided by the whims of a cruel master. This was the world of Epictetus, a man born around 55 AD in what is now Turkey. Snatched from his home at a young age and taken to Rome, he was stripped of his freedom and his name, becoming the property of a powerful and unpredictable freedman of Emperor Nero. Life under Epictetus was a daily lesson in fear and uncertainty. For most, this would have been a story of despair, a life crushed by the weight of an oppressive system. But for Epictetus, it became the ultimate training ground. He began to understand something profound. While his body was in chains, his mind remained a sovereign territory. He realized he had absolute control over one thing: how he chose to respond to his circumstances. This single idea would become the bedrock of his entire philosophy. There's a powerful story that perfectly captures this inner mastery. One day, in a fit of rage, his master twisted his leg until it broke. Faced with excruciating pain, Epictetus didn't scream, curse, or beg. He simply looked at his master with an unnerving calm and said, "You see, it will break." And it did. He was left with a permanent limp. This event wasn't just a physical injury. It was a philosophical revelation. Epictetus understood that physical pain only transforms into mental suffering when we fight against reality. When we accept what is, suffering loses its power over us. He saw that true slavery wasn't about physical chains, but about being a slave to our own uncontrolled reactions. This profound realization led him straight to the heart of Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy that offered a practical guide for living a good life in a chaotic world. For Epictetus, philosophy wasn't some abstract intellectual game. It was a survival tool. It wasn't about impressing others with complex theories. It was about strengthening the soul. He took the core ideas of Stoicism and distilled them into a simple, powerful message that anyone could understand. His central teaching can be summed up in one brilliant, life-changing idea: dividing everything in life into two categories. First, the things that are within our control. Second, the things that are not. What's in our control? Our thoughts, our judgments, our values, our choices, and our actions. That's it. What's not in our control? Pretty much everything else. Other people's opinions, our reputation, our health, our wealth, the weather, and even the moment of our death. Epictetus argued that nearly all human misery comes from confusing these two categories. We exhaust ourselves trying to control the uncontrollable while neglecting the one area where we have absolute power: our own mind. Think about it. When someone betrays you, you can't control their actions, but you can control how you interpret that betrayal and how you choose to respond. Will you let it consume you with bitterness, or will you use it as a lesson in resilience? The event itself is neutral. Your response is what defines your experience. This is what he meant by virtue. For Epictetus, the ultimate goal in life, the key to true happiness, was living a life of virtue. But virtue wasn't about being perfect or pious. It was about living in alignment with reason, making wise choices, and exercising self-control. He believed that virtue is the only true good because it asks the only thing no one can ever take from you. Your money can be stolen, your reputation can be ruined, your body can be harmed, but your inner character, your virtue, is yours alone. He saw life not as a series of unfair events, but as a gymnasium for the soul. Every difficulty, every setback, every challenge was simply an opportunity to practice virtue. When you face an obstacle, you have a choice. You can see it as a stumbling block that causes you to despair, or you can see it as a training partner that helps you grow stronger. In this view, nothing is truly bad. It's just material for you to work with. Eventually, Epictetus gained his freedom. He began teaching philosophy in Rome, his raw, direct style attracting students who were tired of empty rhetoric and yearned for genuine wisdom. However, his influence grew so much that Emperor Domitian, who saw philosophers as a threat to his authority, banished him from the city. But this exile didn't break him. It was just another external event outside of his control. He simply moved to Nicopolis in Greece and founded a new school. There, he lived a simple life, teaching anyone who wished to learn how to be free on the inside. His teachings weren't written down by him, but were thankfully preserved by one of his most dedicated students, Arian. These notes became the works we know today as the Discourses in the Enchiridion, which means the handbook. This short, Powerfull manual has been a source of strength and guidance for countless people over the last 2,000 years, from Roman emperors to modern-day entrepreneurs. So how can this ancient wisdom help us today, in our world of constant distraction, anxiety, and uncertainty? The principles of Epictetus are more relevant than ever. When we're faced with a global crisis, a personal failure, or just the daily grind of life, his philosophy offers a lifeline. It teaches us to stop fighting reality and to accept what is. It shows us how to shift our focus from complaining about what we KO and change to taking meaningful action on what we can. It trains us to respond to life with calm and clarity rather than with impulsive emotion. The legacy of Epictetus is immense. He not only influenced other great Stoics like Seneca and the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, but his ideas also laid the groundwork for modern psychology, cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. One of the most effective forms of therapy today is built on the very same principle Epictetus taught. It's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about those events. Today, leaders in business, sports, and the military turn to Epictetus for guidance on building mental toughness and emotional resilience. His teachings help them make clear-headed decisions under pressure, handle criticism without crumbling, and maintain focus in the face of chaos. The life of Epictetus is a testament to the indestructible power of the human spirit. He proved that true freedom is not found in external circumstances, but in the inner citadel of the mind. His philosophy is not about passively accepting your fate. It's about actively shaping your response to it. By learning to distinguish what we can control from what we can't, and by focusing our energy on living with virtue, we can find a profound sense of peace and strength, no matter what life throws our way. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more journeys into the lives and ideas that have shaped our world.